Okay, Wolfpack, WOD Talk Tuesday. Got an interesting little day here. Decided to flip things around, put the accessory work first, add a little bit of leg fatigue, and give ourselves a chance to work on some lunges, some lunge strength, without having to do it in a Metcon. With a high heart rate, we can kind of slow things down and use a little heavier weight and get some good lunge volume out of these back rack lunges. So these are from the rack. Barbells on the back. You got 8 to 10 per leg. You're going to step back. Alternating legs for 8 to 10 on each leg. So it's a lot of volume. After 3 sets, you're looking at 30 or so on each leg. Chance, like I said, to add a little bit more weight. If you want to make things a little more challenging, or you're pretty proficient in lunges, you can stand on top of a plate, 25 or 45. So you get a little bit more of a deep lunge. Kind of helps drive out of the bottom. Sometimes when we get to the single leg lunge position, that extension of that drive out when we get tired is tough. So the deficit makes it a little more challenging, build a little bit more muscle. So obviously with these, we want to make sure they're not the hardest things in the world, since we are working on just accumulating volume. So these should be pretty consistent step back lunges. We shouldn't have to step back, step up, rest, step back, step up, rest. We should be able to alternate legs relatively quick. So pick an appropriate weight, maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10 RPE. Since we haven't done heavy back rack lunges maybe ever or in a long time. So should be smart about this. It's not meant to completely fatigue you for the workout, but it's meant to add some leg fatigue so that the run and the row and the step ups are a little bit more challenging. So have some fun with this. Some great work, just because there's usually lunges in the open. So we'll build a little bit of extra heavy volume so that when the one dumbbell comes, hopefully they seem a little bit easier. Okay, so we'll start out with that. And then we've got some interval work. So we're 5 minutes on, 1 minute off, just to push a little bit of intensity. Okay, that little minute rest should be enough to give us a boost to get back to the run, to be able to run at a relatively fast speed, or maybe a little bit faster than normal. So utilize that rest. Make sure that we pace ourselves through this enough to where we're getting to the rower with good time, and I think we'll get a lot out of this workout. So we're gonna do a 400-meter run. Okay, ideally this is gonna take, coming off the rest, a couple minutes to start. Maybe we start leaking to the 230s towards the end, and I think that's appropriate. We just want to make sure that this is not taking us over 2.5 minutes from the initial run. Okay, I'm totally fine if we cut the run down to a 300, if that's more appropriate time frame for you. I think you could just run all the way down the straightaway, and then as soon as it kind of starts to bend to the left, you can stop and come back, and if that keeps us closer to the 2.5 minute marker or so from the beginning, I think that's great, because the step ups here, we got 20. This is going to be a lot of volume. It's 80 total reps, so 40 on each leg. That's more than we've seen in an actual workout or an open workout specifically. So I know these are a challenge for a lot of people, me including. So I wanted to get some good volume in this and not have to worry about them in a Metcon, right? We can kind of just focus on the run, focus on the step ups, and then the remaining time we get to the rower. So time frame, right? 2.5 minutes. Step ups, you're going to be probably close to 1.5 minutes or so. That gives you somewhere around a minute, minute and a half if we're moving pretty quick on the run and the step ups, and that's very appropriate for this. A good goal here would be to get 20 plus calories on the rower every round. If you have somewhere around a minute, I think this is pretty doable. If guys are holding an 1100 pace or something like that, any more than that I think is going to be really good. But we want to make sure we're having a minimum of 1 minute on the rower, so we can actually sit down, we can work on some good efficient strokes, and we can get some calories under our belt, rest, and then we want to try to replicate this. So I would treat this more as like a consistency Metcon. So I wouldn't try to go out the gate fast, try to get through fast, try to get a ton of time on the rower the first round to try to rip out a big set of calories. I think for this specific workout, being consistent across the board is going to be more beneficial, and it's going to help us with better pacing. So pick a run speed that you think you can replicate for all 4 rounds. The dumbbell step up should just be grunt work that we can get through in 1 to 2 sets. I don't think we should be doing less than 10 here. So if we need to break at 10, I think that's okay, but any more than that, it's going to take away a ton of time from the entire workout. So pick a good dumbbell weight. It's only 1, so just cradle it on the shoulder like we do. And then get to the rower and pick a good pace that you can maintain for all 4 sets. Obviously, things are going to fall off a little bit, but if we control ourselves towards the end, save a little in the tank for the last round, we might be able to actually sneak out a few more calories on the rower than the first couple rounds or the third round. And I think that's going to be a good goal. So other than that, great Metcon, opportunity to work on some intensity, some interval work. Great way to push that aerobic threshold through these intervals. So have fun with it. If you got questions, comment below. Other than that, Have a great Tuesday workout. Peace out, Wolfpack.